Want to win an onboard camera? How about a brand new tablet? Just visit the Go Nuclear Late Model Series Facebook page and find out how. While you're there, check out the upcoming schedule, the new line of merchandise, and much more. Just visit facebook.com/Go Nuclear Late Model Series.
Welcome back to the Atomic Power Racing Hour for the final race of the season on the Go Nuclear Late Model Tour. It's the first ever race for the series at Brockville Speedway, one of the many Canadian venues famous for its poutine. Poutine's made up of French fries, cheese curds, and gravy, while late model heats are made up of 8 cars each, going 8 laps and taking the top 4 into the feature redraw. Most races earlier this season were 10 laps on bigger tracks, so that means shorter races and less room for error. Here's how Heat 1 broke down. Here's Rich Fleck with the call.
Green flag is out and we are underway as the field works into turn number 1 and 2. David McDonald on the top side takes the lead, a little bit of contact with the 4X. They get together off at turn number 2. McDonald's getting sideways, and around goes Adam Turner. Turner keeps it going, though. No need for a caution as the field works through 3 and 4. Mark Rayner is taking over the race lead. The Codrington, Ontario driver leads into turn number 1 and 2 with Dean very closely behind in the second position. But the battle rages on. 4th on back. Right now, Jaden McDonald holds on to the final transfer position. Brandon Gregory slips over the bank, entering turn number 3, though. Falls on the bubble for the transfer. To the inside goes Sean Beardsley in the 18S. They make contact. Beardsley goes up and over. Sean Beardsley goes for a wild ride into turn number 1 and 2. Red flag is out. Dean Ferry doesn't see it, though. He is bearing down on this field and finally gets his 99 slowed down. My goodness, a wild incident for the driver that won a month ago at the Mohawk International Raceway. Gregory in the 4X was the pole sitter, but could not keep his car square coming in to turn number 1 on both laps. Gets into the side of the 18S and sends him on a wild excursion up the banking in turn number 1. You see Beardsley out of his car. Looks to be no worse for wear. Hopefully that's the case, but it is clear he is not happy with the driver of the 4X as he has one battered ride to take home.
Sean would go back and survey the remains of his 18 as the car that had brought him so much success all season had now turned its final lap of the year. Later on, he would chat with Rich Fleck about the incident that sent him on the wildest ride of the season.
The 4 car got off the end of the track. He ran back up on the track. He was kind of out of shape, and I got underneath of him, and we went in the turn, and he just never lifted until I was flipped over.
You're all right?
I'm all right, yeah.
And what about the car? I mean, as it's flipping, what do you think?
There isn't much time to think about it. I mean, I just I knew my night was over. So, I don't know, take it back to the shop, put it back together.
The silver lining for Sean, he has 6 months before his next race. Here's how the rest of Heat 1 went down.
Well, one top contender in this heat race is knocked out, but 3 other top names are still mired in the back of the pack as we come back to green. And Dean Ferry on the top of the racetrack jumps out in front of the field. The top line, usually the best on the restarts. Ferry showing it there. Battle on for the runner-up spot. Right now being held by Mark Rayner, but Phil Potts looks to the inside. Potts, along with Adam Turner, who did not draw the caution on the opening lap, are in the redraw, but here comes points leader Dale Caswell. Caswell to the inside and puts himself into a top 12 starting position for the moment. Caswell with a battered up race car so far, trying to keep all the fenders on his R19. Gets a great drive off the bottom of turn number 2, looks to the inside of Mark Rayner and is now wheel to wheel off of turn number 4 for position number 3. 3 more laps left to go. Dean Ferry, the race leader, but Phil Potts is right there in contact for 3rd. Caswell's off the pace, the point leader with a problem. He falls back into 7th, and regardless if there's a problem or not, would have a bad starting position for the feature later on tonight. Meanwhile, for the race lead, Phil Potts is there. Potts peeks down to the inside. Ferry holds through in the middle of the racetrack. Picks up the white flag. 1 more lap left to go. Down to the bottom goes Potts. Unable to get the drive off the corner. Ferry looking to the top in turn number 3. Meanwhile, Adam Turner goes over the bank, loses a transfer spot. Caswell gets the transfer spot back. Dean Ferry, the race winner, Potts, Rayner, and now Dale Caswell get into the redraw.
Here's how our race winner assessed his run.
Heat race was great, lots of bite out there. Down below was real fast, the middle of the track was real fast. It's a very high banked racetrack, a little bit different than what I normally race at, which is more of a flat track where you kind of throw the car in sideways. This one here, you more drive it in, and it really sets in the middle of the corner.
Even though Dean Ferry was impressive out front, many eyeballs in the pits were focused on Sean Beardsley's wrecked ride. Heat 2 is up next. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Atomic Power Racing Hour.